Here are the horoscopes for the week of the 19th to the 25th of June 2017. We begin the week with Mercury opposition Saturn. So we're looking at the recent annoyance field that we've felt since the new moon in Gemini, which has been very feisty and triggered angry outbursts and irritation. So Mercury opposite Saturn can bring this to a close. If we look at the root of any strong emotion that's been ignited, where did it come from? We can realise that we've got those triggers inside of us and gently pull them out for cleansing. So it's been a very feisty month with the moon in Gemini and a grand trine in fire, but now we're beginning to see that it's all from our beliefs within us and how we can actually accept those, bring them to the surface, question the core belief and release the emotion as a result. So we have a lot of energy moving into Cancer this week. We're coming up to the summer solstice. So Mercury and Mars and the Sun and the Moon will all be transiting very close together in the sign of Cancer, and we come up to the new moon on the 24th. So this week we're going into the last days of Gemini, into the dark moon of Gemini, cleansing and then getting ready for that summer solstice. So there's a play of light and dark at this time, but also we are taking inwards, so that we've had the outer months we've had from Aries to Gemini is very much upwards and outwards, and now as Neptune turns retrograde as well at the time of the summer solstice, then we'll start to take everything inwards. So when Mercury travels near the Sun in Cancer, we have the marriage of mind and spirit. It's very worth focusing on, as the Mercury is our mind and the Sun is our soul force energy. So as we start to go into the summer solstice, Mercury and the Sun travelling very close together, and I would say have a look at the phrase where our tension goes, energy flows, because Mercury can focus our intention, focus that life force energy, energise it and send it out. So have a look at where your mind's at. Now we've cleared up a lot of the irritation field with that opposition to Saturn. Have a look at where you're focusing your mind, where you're putting your energy, and where you can create that flow, especially on Monday through the rest of the week as we enter the sign of Cancer. As I say, Neptune is turning retrograde. This is very slow. It'll take a few weeks, just like the Jupiter turning direct. So Jupiter's turning direct over the whole of June and into July. Neptune's going the other way and turning retrograde in Pisces. So we start to look at our dream world. We start to look at where we're tuning in to the other realms, the 95% beyond the five senses, where we're receiving messages from our intuition and our imagination, maybe even past life resonance. Information will be streaming through if we can be quiet and still enough to pay attention and to tune in. On Wednesday we have the Sun moving into Cancer, and this is the summer solstice. This is midsummer. So the wheel begins to turn. We take a pause between the veils and get a glimpse of the magical realms at this time, and that aligns perfectly with the Neptune retrograde I was just speaking about. An equinoctial solstice is a 3-day event, so the Sun going into Cancer on Wednesday, right next to Mercury, then we're dealing with that mind and spirit, that attention and flow. Then by Thursday, we're in the held breath, really, resolving the inner conflicts that come up, finding peace, releasing the triggers of the fake personality, and rising up to the soul self, focusing on our higher calling and setting intentions from a place of gratitude. So a very still aspect there on Thursday. Then by Friday we're coming out of the solstice and we have the dark moon in Gemini. Venus and Pluto are in a trine at this time, which is deeply healing. You could see it as grace meeting power, and the fusion of these two show us our own empowerment, show us where we can let go of all that's fake and really reconnect with our deeper selves. Then on Saturday we have the new moon at 2 degrees Cancer. This is a precursor to the eclipse that we'll see, which will be in the United States in August. So we're starting to see the eclipse cycle will slowly eke into effect. They can play out 1 or 2 months in advance, but we're coming into the new moon in Cancer And this is a very cleansing, very gentle, mothering sign, but it's also quite feisty. People think of Cancer as all emotional and caring and empathetic, but we have had a lot of fire around lately, and at this new moon we have the Sun, Moon, Mercury and Mars all in the second house of the chart, and they will fiercely protect anything that threatens the security of the heart and the home and the hearth. So we're called inwards to protect what we value and to actually master our emotions, really. Choose what's valuable, but don't just feel for the sake of feeling. That can be the paradigm of Cancerians, that they just don't feel alive unless they're feeling something, but not all feelings are actually serving us. So instead of going round and round in an emotional whirlpool, instead of sinking into self-immersion, self-pity, we need to actually choose which of our emotions are serving us and when they are best felt and brought out and expressed. So we're coming out of the summer solstice. Like I say, we've got Mercury and Mars in there as well, and Neptune turning retrograde. So we do need to go inwards, but we need to examine our emotional landscape. We need to realise that security comes from self-knowledge and inner strength and inner peace when we examine ourselves and release anything that's not of the soul self. When that's fully realised and we acknowledge the divine spark within us, then there's a sense of peace and mastery and deep inner security, so that we can flow and feel the real feelings and empathise and connect with others in common union, but not coming from a place of fear. So the new moon there, it is time to set intentions. We are stepping forward slowly now, especially from mid-July onwards, but to go in and to set intentions from a soul place, to really become light and bright and self-nourishing, self-nurturing, and cleansing out any of that frustration, so that when Jupiter really does start to go direct in effect mid-July, then we've got a clear road ahead where we can set intentions from a place of majesty. So those are the horoscopes for this week, and I'll see you next week. If you'd like to take a look at where this is happening for you and how you can plot a course forwards, then please do contact me for a one-to-one reading. It's astrology and tarot recorded MP3, and I'm available in person or over Skype. I have a Zodiac pack for each sign, which you can work with and learn more about your sign and how to engage with that on an intuitive level. And I have a number of online courses if you'd like to come and learn this for yourself. And the big online course, the 13-module astrology course, gives you free place in my private members Facebook group, where regular discussions can go on as and when things come up. So for any of that, please do contact me, zoehines7@gmail.com.